The enslaved people who built America were not brought here in chains, they were brought here in ships. And those ships sailed from the Gulf of Guinea, modern-day Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, as well as West Central Africa, notably Angola. Smaller numbers were also taken from southeastern Africa. European traders would exchange goods for captives brought to the coast by African traders. They would then hold these people in fortified slave castles like Elmina, which the Portuguese built in Ghana in 1482. Other castles include Goree Island, which the Portuguese also built in Senegal in 1492, and Bunce Island, which the British built in Sierra Leone in 1707. These castles had one purpose: to hold enslaved people before they were shipped across the Atlantic. And it's important to understand that these castles were fortresses, heavily fortified to withstand attack. They had high walls and deep moats, as well as guns to defend them from anyone who might try to storm the gates. But why were they built like this? Because the people held inside the castles were considered property, chattel, things to be bought and sold. And their captors wanted to make sure that no one could get to them before they were put on a ship and sent to the New World. What do you think happened to the people who tried to escape? What do you think happened to those who tried to storm the castles to free the enslaved people? For some, it meant certain death. Enslaved people were often shackled to walls, sometimes for months at a time, waiting for a ship to take them away. They died of exhaustion, starvation, and disease. Those who survived the journey to the Americas often faced a life of hardship and misery. They were forced to work long hours for little or no pay. They were beaten and tortured if they didn't meet their quotas. And they were separated from their families, never to see them again. But despite all this, enslaved people resisted. They ran away, they rebelled, they fought back in any way they could, because no matter how much the Europeans wanted to dehumanize them, they were human beings with a will to survive and a desire for freedom. This is a story about more than just slavery. It's a story about courage, resilience, and the will to survive against all odds. It is a story that we need to tell and continue to tell until we understand it and learn from it. Only then can we make sure that it never happens again. I'm the author of a book about an enslaved woman named Chichiner. She was born in South Carolina in 1823 and lived to be 106 years old. Her story and others like her are part of our shared history. Learning about them helps us understand who we are and where we come from.